my name is Day. Welcome to my YouTube channel. And in today's video, I want to talk about my relationship with God and how I believe in God and how I believe that God loves me despite being a transsexual. I know the common trope is that people believe that God made you a certain way and that the birth sex that you were born as is how God intended for you to be, and that you can't be trans and have a relationship with God. And I just think this whole notion is false because these people don't seem to have the same interpretation of what a God would be as I do. My interpretation of an all-good, all-powerful, all-knowing God is that they're an understanding God and that they take part in things as they occur. God has an active role in existence. And I just think that people fail to think about, well, maybe what if God was actually a part of the transition and the transformation? What if God was had an active role to play in that? What if this is something that was intended for me by God, since God does know the future because it's all-knowing? I feel like that's a more accurate depiction or idea of what God's place in all of this is, rather than it's a concrete thing you were born this way. It's you were born a baby and you grew up. Was that God's intention for you to change in that way, or to break a bone and get surgery on that? Was that not God's plan? Was that because that's not how God made you? Yeah, so I just think people misinterpret what an all-loving and all-understanding God would be okay with. Me personally, I think God has understanding of even the worst people on this planet. I'm talking major criminals, murderers, even rapists. I think God has a level of understanding of maybe their psyche, maybe not so much that it's okay. I'm not saying that God agrees with those sorts of things or those sorts of people, but I think no matter how far you think you are from God, I think God's always available to you and always understanding of you and your psyche and your human experience. And I just think that in terms of being a transgender person, that God's very understanding of the nature of this, and that I am valid in my own psyche and my own just existence. So yes, I do think that God does love me. I think he has to love me, being understanding and loving and all good. And it's just something that doesn't stop me from having faith in God, despite, I've said this before, I am not a Christian. I don't subscribe to any particular religion. I just do believe in a higher power. I do believe in a higher intelligence, something that supersedes us as humans and our even ability to comprehend it. I think I'm very spiritual. I do think there's a spiritual aspect to life, and some of that could be just science we haven't quite learned yet or understood yet. There's still a lot of things we don't know, and I just leave that up and classify it as the supernatural. And I just believe that there's definitely a God. I've had spiritual experiences and I've talked to God personally. I've even, this might sound a little crazy, but I've had conversations with God. And but so I'm fairly certain of God's existence. I'm just not, I don't subscribe to a particular religion. But so I guess I'm not speaking for the Christian God, But even though I'm not speaking for like the Christian God, I feel like I'm not too far off from what the Christian God should be, or like should be interpreted as. Um, yeah. So that's pretty much it for this video. I just want to leave off with a note that, yeah, I just think that God loves me and that he played an active role in me becoming who I am, and it was God's plan. Yeah, so if you enjoyed this video, just feel free to leave me a like, give me a comment. If you want to see more videos like this, feel free to subscribe to me. Yeah, so thank you for watching, and bye.